Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of Dale Center NASCAR Betting, previewing the Cookout 400 weekend at Martinsville Speedway. We have the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on Saturday with the NFPS 250, I think that's what it's called, and the Cookout 400 on Sunday with the NASCAR Cup Series. IndyCar is at Barber this weekend, so IndyCar's back. So you got three reputable motorsports events you can bet on this weekend. I'll include some IndyCar and some parlays at the end of the show. But welcome to Dale Center. I am Dale Tanhart, and we got to talk about Darlington. We got destroyed. Now look, if you watch Dale Center, 2 of the top 10 plays hit. That was Brad Keselowski top Ford, that was a smash, plus 850. Carson Kvapil top 5, plus 400, I believe. But we lost a big bet with Ross Chastain top 5 after he got spun on pit road in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. He was running 6th, so it wasn't a smash like I believed it would be. But we had some bad beats on Saturday and Sunday, but we got to be straight up. Every bet I gave for the truck race on Friday night was abysmal. It was terrible. It was pathetic. There is no excuse. Truck Night in America is on hold for the foreseeable future after that apocalyptic betting night on Friday night. Saturday and Sunday, we just got bad beat to death. I mean, Chris Buescher top 5 was a certainty if he doesn't get wrecked, and he got wrecked. It was his fault because he kind of made a bad, rash, late decision to pull down in front of Tyler Reddick. Tough deal there because Chris Buescher was a rocket just like Brad Keselowski. And I gotta say, I feel stupid. I should feel stupid, and you should feel stupid, with all due respect, for not betting on Tyler Reddick pre-practice, pre-qualifying, because holy cow, that car was unbelievable. So, good reads. If a couple things went a different way, I mean, literally just split-second decisions that happened in both Saturday and Sunday's races. Not to mention Carson Kvapil in O'Reilly, who had a top 3 car, was running top 3, had a horrific pit stop that derailed his chances to get a top 3 finish, which would have propelled us last Saturday. Thank God he got a top 5 though. But no more excuses. We had a bad weekend. We're back here for Martinsville, where we had a massive weekend in this race last year. Now, dubclub.win, you see the icon on, this is the left, whatever, side of your screen. All betting cards will be free this weekend. I am going to continue to post for our subscribers. If you subscribe to dubclub.win, aka the Dale Club, you're going to get the bets first, but I am going to make the betting cards public. But I gotta send them to the subs first so they can make sure they get the best lines, because if anyone knows who's been betting on NASCAR, at least for the duration of 2026, lines move quick. So I want to make sure subscribers get the best lines, and then all my betting cards will be public for the entire weekend. Now, we're going to talk about a lot of those bets here, but I did just want to kind of let you guys know I throw in free betting cards every now and then with the specific unit allocations. My Dale Center Top 10 will have unit allocations that I have bet or will bet at the end of the program, or at least at the end of our preview before we get to the Psycho Parlays, which is going to be fun because we have IndyCar we can mix in as well. So, lines on the bottom of your screen, courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. Let's see where we're going to start here for our Dale Center top 10 plays. Cookout 400 weekend. All right. This was not planned, but you figured the 24 would be involved with William Byron, Benjamin Bill. They laid an egg here last year in the spring. They fought I think it was a brutally tight race car from spring of 2025, which was pretty weird because they've had big time dominant moments here. Benjamin Bill and that 24 team, including last fall, where they conquered Team Penske in the penultimate race before the championship, which never happens in the fall race. And William Byron and his team did make it happen. And Byron's been great here in the Gen 7 era. He's got those 2 wins. He's got one of the top driver averages, at least since 2023. He did win here as well in 2022, the coldest race I've ever been to in my entire life, and the worst, most boring Gen 7 at any NASCAR race I've ever been to in my entire life. But he did win that along with last fall. And the bet you see on your screen, as I'll reload it real quick, is not for the race, because I feel like a lot of the favorites might be a little expensive before we hit the racetrack. He's a favorite to win the pole, and he's been exceptional in qualifying here. He won the pole last fall. He's a top 5 qualifying machine here. Now, the concern, I guess, would be if Chevy misses. You know, the new Chevy body has plagued the entire Chevy camp, it seems like. Just like something has plagued my lights, and they have turned off. I'm going to turn them back on now. Okay. But if Hendrick, who usually comes to this spring race and is very fast, very dominant, if they come in and they unload with speed, William Byron has an excellent draw in qualifying late in the session. Temperatures are pretty cold, so it's not going to be hot and slick. I would expect the later times of the qualifying session to be faster because the air temperature is going to be in like the 50s. It is a cold, late March weekend in Martinsville, and that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, especially if you want to bet qualifying, you want to bet late in the session, drivers that are coming out late. William Byron is right there in that final 5. And I think if Hendrick figures it out, William Byron, the favorite to win the pole, is going to win the pole. Plus 450, maybe a little on the expensive side, but if I'm going to bet qualifying, I'm going to bet like 5 people, you know, so it's not just going to be a solo shot on Benjamin Bill. There's going to be other guys on the card, but that card will start with William Byron. He is my top pick to win the pole for the Cookout 400 on Sunday. Qualifying Saturday at like 3 o'clock Eastern time, something like that. Make sure you look out for the schedule because we've seen some weird issues with particularly DraftKings on like missing the time, leaving odds on the board. Just keep an eye out. Okay, here's the one that I wanted to find it in the Discord. I want to make sure I reminded myself here. Fanatics. This is crazy. Fanatics had qualifying lines up after qualifying was over. A couple guys in the Discord saw it. I have no access to Fanatics where I live, but a couple guys in the Dale Center NASCAR Discord, which you can join in a link below, and I will make sure the link works this weekend. A couple guys in the Discord saw it, bet Tyler Reddick, and Fanatics paid it out. Fanatics left qualifying lines on the board after qualifying was over. A couple guys bet on Tyler Reddick, who won the pole, after he had already won the pole and got paid out. So, knowing the start times and keeping up with practice and qualifying, very important. Very important, because you never know who's going to mess up. The Discord is always saying there's an intern that fucks things up. We've already seen it this week with FanDuel, and FanDuel seems like to... FanDuel is at the center of these problems, it seems. And shout out everybody. I mean, look, we know Kyle Busch is probably going to run fucking 27th, but we got Kyle Busch top 10 at... I got it at 11-1. Some people got 13-1. Some people got 17-1. His average top 10 price on every other book outside of FanDuel is like 2-1, 2.5-1. And we all got it 11-1 or better. So shout out FanDuel and shout out Fanatics. You idiots, with all due respect. So keep up with the practice qualifying times. Bob Pockers is the man for that. Coming up, very rare you're going to see Jeb Burton, but Hard Rock Bet has some excellent top 5 lines. I'm going to be betting these in the morning on Friday. Jeb Burton for top 5. Been pretty good at Martinsville. Think he ran 7th here last fall. What sticks out to me, like, forget the past experience. We know Jeb is a good short track racer. He's gotten some good results here in Martinsville. Maybe not in the top 5, but 4 of the last 5 at Martinsville, 11th or better. I said forget the track resume, and I still talked about it. What sticks out to me is Jordan Anderson Racing. They went to Phoenix, and Jeb was very competitive. So is Jordan Anderson Racing, are they just emerging as a team that's better than just a super speedway team? Because we know Jordan Anderson will hop in that 32 car and be super competitive in the draft. We've seen Roger Carruth got out some decent runs in the 32. We saw Chastain almost win Atlanta. And Jeb Burton is quietly putting together some decent performances. Now, he's pretty incident prone, makes a lot of mistakes, gets into some beef with other drivers, but 16-1 for a top 5. Again, ran really well at Phoenix. Coming to another short track style racetrack. I mean, this is a pure short track. Phoenix, some people, I get it. You won't say it's a short track, but it does have short track characteristics. So to me, that's a big time bright spot for Jeb Burton to be super competitive there. I think he ran 6th or 7th, ran around the top 5. So I think the score recently has been releasing top 10 lines for O'Reilly. Again, the score is another book I can't use. And if I did drive to Louisiana to use the score, I would be limited to like $8 a bet. So if you do have access to that or any random slapdick book that will post top 10 lines, I think Jeb Burton is a good candidate for a top 10 line. If you can get it like 3-1, 4-1, that seems like a pretty fair price considering everything we just talked about. So Jeb Burton, 16-1 top 5 is something I'm going to take a stab at for O'Reilly. Now back to Cup. Bubba Wallace, 27-1 outright. Bubba's an underrated short track racer, man. He's been successful at Martinsville, in particular in the spring. Last 2 spring races, he's finished 3rd and 4th. We know Hendrick is great here. Denny was great here last year, but Bubba's been sneaky, and this is the one track type where he can beat Tyler Reddick. There's going to be some pressure on Bubba because of what Tyler Reddick has done. No one expects Riley Herbst to do anything, but Bubba kind of ran the show last year just with that Brickyard 400 win when Tyler Reddick went winless. So when I look at Bubba Wallace, when is he going to have his moment? Thought it was going to be Atlanta. Somehow still ends up being Tyler Reddick. We know he's great at the super speedways. That's his best track type, but these short tracks are pretty underrated, and Bubba's resume at Martinsville in the Gen 7 era has been a little spotty, but capable. Now he has a bad draw for qualifying. So what I want to do here, my strategy and my hope, we'll see what happens. I hope they practice well, but because of his bad draw for qualifying, because of his bad performance at Darlington last weekend, thinking we just take the outright now. Maybe if he qualifies between 15th and 25th, which is kind of where I'm thinking he will qualify with that unfortunate draw. Thinking maybe we get a little bit of a better price on a top 5 or a top 10, maybe even a top Toyota. So I'm going to take the outright now at 27-1. I don't see that getting much longer, but in case maybe we don't get a big qualifying effort, a great qualifying effort, which I would be surprised if he qualified top 10 based on his position going out, maybe we get a better top 10 price. Maybe we get a better top 5 price, and we target that post-qualifying. So I like Bubba. I think he's going to be a popular bet this weekend too because everything I just said, keep it simple. Good short track racer, great team. 2311 is red hot, and this is the place where he could match or beat Tyler Reddick because we know the short tracks are the Red Dogs' kryptonite, but not for Bubba. Next up, Sam Mayer. This is weird to me. Sam Mayer, 18-1. Excuse me. On DraftKings Sportsbook, now it's 16-1. I would still bet 16-1. Sam Mayer is not a slouch on the short tracks. We're in an interesting time here with O'Reilly because this is like the first race in a minute where we don't have like a designated Cup guy and great equipment that takes the outright favorite title heading into the weekend. Some books have Taylor Gray, some books have Justin Allgaier, who's red hot. Chastain is the Cup guy in the field, but he's in a DGM car. So I'd be shocked if he came out and was super competitive. So it's kind of wide open. So Sam Mayer he's only 23 years old, but he is like a veteran at this point. He's been in O'Reilly full time, I think, since 2021, at least since 2022. He had a runner up here when he was with JRM. He led laps here last fall. He was very competitive. The Gibbs cars were better, but Sam Mayer was competitive here last year. He's a good short track racer, and I think he's on a championship team. I think him and Sheldon Creed will both contend for the championship. I don't know why the books are kind of overlooking him here because I see someone like Austin Hill, maybe even Taylor Gray, even Justin Allgaier. I think Sam Mayer could outrun all 3 of those guys easily, who are all much, much more favored than him. So Sam Mayer has a good short track resume. It has been a slow start to the season, but the dude's talented. I think he's on a championship team, and I love the price. You can get 16 to 1. Hell, if you can get 13 to 1, I'd bet it down to like 12 to 1 if I had to. Sam Ayer, that's a very sneaky play. I think he's going to be a factor on Saturday. Don't miss out on this one. Now, I gotta say this. I told you that about Chandler Smith last weekend too. Probably the worst bet I've ever given in my entire fucking career is telling you to bet on Chandler Smith in the truck race. Still get mad thinking about it. This man ran 23rd on speed at Darlington in an FRM truck. What the fuck, dude? It still makes me mad. Night sweats thinking about that. I'm already losing my voice. This is what happens when you stream 3, 4, 5 nights a week. I'm amazed I don't hop on Dale Center and my voice be completely raspy by the time I'm here. Anyway, Sam Ayer, good bet. That 5 to 1 top 3 line is on Hard Rock. I'll be betting that this morning. I think Sam Ayer is a great candidate, and he's being treated as an underdog, and I completely disagree with that. So Sam Ayer, I think, will be a factor on Saturday, and I would not miss out if you see 16 to 1, which is what I'm looking at DraftKings. And as I said, I'd bet it down to 12 to 1. I'd probably bet it down to 10 to 1. I think Sam's going to be good. Next up, Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs' Cup resume at Martinsville sucks. He's qualified well here, 2 runner-up starting spots. So I think he's a great candidate to win the pole because of that, A, and B, because of how red hot he is. He's qualifying well and he's racing well in 2026. I don't think the pricing justifies taking a positional prop on him because his resume is so bad at Martinsville, but I'm a big fan of betting on guys that are knocking on the door. And Ty Gibbs, I already, beginning of the year, we talked about it here. I bet his over 0.5 wins at plus money for a pretty big bet. I think it's going to cash. And it could cash any time. And Martinsville, where he had good success here in O'Reilly, he won here. He sat on the pole here in O'Reilly when he was super dominant. Confidence has got to be high in that 54 camp. And Joe Gibbs Racing has been good here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that 25 to 1. I think it opened at 30 to 1 somewhere. But that's okay. I'll take 25 to 1. I'll take the 9 to 1 pole. He has a great draw, just like William Byron. Him and Byron, I think, go out back to back towards the end of the session. So, Gibbs, JGR kind of missed the qualifying setup at Phoenix. They kind of missed it at Darlington. They were great at Vegas. Maybe they nail it because they have qualified well here in the past. They've raced well here in the past. Ty Gibbs, I'm kind of just riding that wave of confidence. He hasn't finished lower than P6 since Atlanta, which is a drafting track, So it was a bad start to the season. Daytona, Atlanta, involved in wrecks in both of those races. Ever since we got away from the drafters, he's been the most consistent guy in NASCAR, other than Tyler Reddick. So Ty Gibbs knocking on the door. I'll take the 27 to 1. We'll see how qualifying shakes out. I think 9 to 1 to win the pole. It's the same line over on Caesars, or can be, in my case, Bally. Maybe in your case, Bet Rivers or Bally. 9 to 1 to win the pole with a late draw. Been a good qualifier. Has a pole here before in O'Reilly. Not a bad idea, in my opinion. So we're going to ride with Ty Gibbs. We'll see how qualifying shakes out. And then maybe we'll consider some positional props before the green flag on Sunday. Next up, Chase Elliott. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your winner on Sunday. This is your winner on Sunday. This guy has been so consistent here. Speaking of knocking on the door, Martinsville has been incredible for Chase Elliott since 2024. All he does is run around the top 3. He's led a bunch of laps. Now, in the fall of last year, Ryan Blaney, William Byron were better. Byron is capable of laying an egg. Ryan Blaney has my dog Rocky as his front or rear tire changer. My other dog, Baby, as his jackman. So Blaney is the favorite, as he should be, because of how dominant he's been at Martinsville. And in particular in the fall, when the championship's basically on the line. But his pit crews really let him down. And this is you could just get destroyed on pit road at Martinsville. Absolutely destroyed. And this is really tough place to pass, especially in the Gen 7. We've seen that. We think the higher horsepower with a high wearing tire could maybe neutralize that. We know that 12 car has been good in the long run, but I don't trust him just yet. Best line I've seen on Blaney, basically 5-1 on Bally. If you want to bet that, I don't hate it. He's kind of like, get it out of the way, right? He's the favorite. He's probably going to be the fastest on the long run in practice. Why not just go ahead and do it? But the guy next up, whose pit crew's been really good, he's been sneaky in 2026, been pretty quiet, Chase Elliott. My prediction, Chase Elliott wins at Martinsville, Cookout 400 on Sunday. He's just been so good here. And I feel like if you just keep knocking on the door, running top 3, every single time out, it's going to happen. And one thing about Chase Elliott that has been his kryptonite is qualifying. This has been the outlier for Chase Elliott. He qualifies well here every single time out. You want to ignore that little span in 2023, right? Ignore that little span in 2023 when he had problems with the injury. I think he led a bunch of laps here spring of 2022, kind of faded. Didn't have a great 2022 at Martinsville either. But you look at 2020 and 2021, forget the gap of 2022 and 2023, and then look at 2024 through 2025. He is a top 5 machine. Eventually, he's going to break through. Chase Elliott is the only Chevy that has won in 2026. He won a dual race. Now, I think Chase Elliott will be the first Chevy to win a true points race, and I think he wins at Martinsville this Sunday. 9-1. I bet it down to 8-1. I think DraftKings had plus 850. Where did I bet 9-1? I think I bet 9-1 at BetMGM last night. I think that's right. So if you can get 8-1, that's fine. I got 9-1. I think Chase Elliott will qualify top 10, and he will charge to the front and win on Sunday. Bold prediction. We'll see how it plays out. Austin Cindric, man, I hate betting on this motherfucker, but noticeably more pace in 2026. Very good in the long run late at Darlington last week. Kind of backdoor to top 5. Very good at Phoenix before he got wrecked. Maybe this horsepower change has helped Austin Cindric because two semi-relative or tracks that could correlate to this weekend, not because of the track type as much as just the higher horsepower package with this tire, has benefited Austin Cindric. And I think it could speak volumes on what he might have this weekend. In Martinsville, he's had some good runs here. Finished top 5 here, fall of 2024. And we know everything there is to know about Ryan Blaney and Team Penske having excellent long run speed. I think if Cindric doesn't make any mistakes, he can kind of sneak. He can be sneaky here. I think 2026, like I said, at Phoenix and Darlington, bodes well for Austin Cindric, who has run, just been competitive. Long run speed at Phoenix and Darlington, the two technical ovals that we've been to that will utilize the same horsepower package. I'll ride it. 8-1 top 5, 20-1 top Ford, 22-1 on DraftKings. Why not? Again, I feel like this top Ford strategy I've beat to death here on DALESCENTER, but it's kind of worked. You get Ryan Blaney at an outright price. He is so boom or bust. Now, he came back and had a good run at Darlington after having big time struggles in pit road, but he wasn't the top finishing Ford. So you get Ryan Blaney as an outright, assuming boom or bust, which he typically is. And then you get all these other guys in the top Ford category that are, in my opinion, undervalued every single week because of how mistake prone that 12 team is. Last week, you get Keselowski plus 850 top Ford. He was the best Ford in the field. And Blaney had a problem. If Blaney has a problem here at Martinsville, it will be a lot tougher to make up, I think. And again, similar pricing. Josh Berry sitting there, 18-20-1 range, top Ford, great short track racer. Maybe this is the weekend he turns his season around. Austin Cindric has had glimpses of very good long run speed. Maybe he gets another good run. RFK guys right there. But I'm going to lean into the Cindric category here. Again, I'll pull that back up on the screen. Top 5, 8-1 on DraftKings Sportsbook. 22-1 top Ford, also on DraftKings. And then why not take a shot at the poll? He went out really early in Phoenix in qualifying and almost got the pole. Now he's got a better draw in qualifying, kind of middle of the pack, a little later than the middle, I believe. Maybe he puts down a heater. 35-1, very low risk. Why not take a shot at it? Austin Cindric, better in 2026 at these technical tracks than I've seen in any other year in the Gen 7 era, at least starting out. Good underdog bet. I hate betting on this motherfucker outside of drafting tracks, but I think the speed is there to give it a shot. So we talked about Austin Cindric on Dale Center. Can't believe that. Moving on. Sammy Smith. Ooh, it's good to look at that beautiful number 8 car, or number 8. The Dale Jr. number 8 on my screen again. I'm not a big fan of betting on Sammy Smith either, but he's fucking good at Martinsville. And I like he tweeted the other night, we've got unfinished business, running second here last fall. He's been running second 3 straight Martinsville races on the white flag. I threw that in there because he didn't finish second here last spring because he pulled a fucking Austin Dillon, slammed into Taylor Gray, wrecked everybody. He ended up finishing 10th. But, you know, my point is he's got top 3 speed. It seems like every single time we come to Martinsville. He was great here when he was with Joe Gibbs Racing as well. One of those years, I think it was 2024, he led a bunch of laps and gave the win away late. So this is his best track. I know he's won at Talladega. He's won at Phoenix. Last year he won a race at Rockingham when Jesse Love got DQ'd. Fuck all that. This is Sammy Smith's best track. FanDuel has 11-1 outright. I think the top 5 line getting right at even money. I don't trust him that much. But I'll take a shot at the outright. You know, I think he'll have a good qualifying run. He's got a decent draw. He's had a good year. He hasn't had winning speed yet, but this could be the place where that changes. I think he should be valued a little bit closer to Taylor Gray, because if you watch the Martinsville races in 2025, that 8 car was up towards the front. So I think Sammy Smith outright 11-1. We're going to take a shot at it because I believe he should be more like a co-favorite. So another guy that I think similar to Sam Mayer, I guess we're on the Sammys, but I think Sammy Smith, I would not be shocked if he brought that 8 car to victory lane. This has been a very, very good track for him. This is worth a unit. He's not my top pick, but he's in a fast JRM car at his best track. Like I said with Chase Elliott, you knock on the door long enough, you're going to eventually win. And at this track, he's knocking the door arguably more than anybody. So, Sammy Smith. And now, this one, I don't know. We'll see. All right, first and foremost, DraftKings will not list Brent Crews because he's not 18 years old. I don't know what the specific rule is, but if you don't even ask me that question. DraftKings will not have Brent Crews because he's not 18. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Find him on another book. Plus 650, I would bet it. Now, what I've already done, I got a 25% profit boost, odds boost on BetMGM. I used it on Brent Crews. I got him at plus 812 to be exact. So I think Brent Crews is the most talented driver in the Toyota camp already. He ran really well here at Martinsville in the truck race, led a bunch of laps. I think he's a prodigy type driver like Connor Zilisch. Maybe not on that particular level, like come out and win fucking 8-10 races in a season, but I think Brent Crews is going to win multiple races in 2026, and if it's going to happen early, I'm not going to miss out. I think he's got enough seat time now between trucks and O'Reilly and all the ARCA races that he's won that he could come out here and win. And Joe Gibbs Racing has been fantastic here at Martinsville. They've kind of laid some eggs to start the year, but if Joe Gibbs Racing is good and they unload fast, Brent Crews is going to be a factor. He's a candidate to win the pole, and he's a candidate to win the race. So I kind of balled him up to 8-1. I'd still bet him at plus 650. But I love Brent Crews this weekend. I think he's a great bet. And I think if you're gonna, we talk about these favorites and how it seems like a lot of different drivers are overpriced for O'Reilly, Allgaier, Taylor Gray. I think if you're gonna go with a favorite slash co-favorite, go with Brent Crews. He's gonna surprise some people on Saturday. All right, I'm missing somebody here. I feel like I've gone here. We're gonna just one at a time here. Hold on, who is that? I'm missing my favorite pick. I'm missing my favorite pick, chat. Hold on, we gotta find him. I don't know which one it is. That's the one issue with randomizing here, you know? I like the randomizing. I like to see who pops up, but somehow I may have left somebody out. Shout out to you though, you get to hear that sound again, like 6 more times. We gotta find him. We gotta find him. Fuck, man. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I feel like I've gone through all of them. All right, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I don't know. I want to talk about Carson Kvapil, the guy that has won us a good bit of money here in 2026 in the O'Reilly Series, where I've been most successful. Cup's been up and down. Trucks have been more down than up, but O'Reilly's been great. Partially, honestly, mostly because of Carson Kvapil. And Carson Kvapil is my pick to win on Saturday. I know we're looking at fucking Sammy. Dude, this is going to drive me nuts. I got to find the damn slide. I got to find it. We're going to find it. Hold on. Carson Kvapil. There's Sammy. We're going to go all the way up until we fucking find it. You're just going to keep hearing the sound. There he is, Carson Kvapil. I got to find out which hotkey that is. Hold on, we got to pause it. Gotta pause it. Boom. Carson Kvapil, top 5 plus 180, top 3 plus 325, outright 9-1 plus 900. So, a few notes here on how I'm gonna approach this. Those top 5 and top 3 lines, best available on Hard Rock Bet. Hard Rock Bet acknowledges post-race inspection. So if you fail post-race inspection, you lose. So 10-1 is available on Hard Rock as an outright. Or Bally, Canby Books have 10-1. I went ahead and just took the 9-1 on DraftKings. That way I'm not so exposed to post-race inspection, because I'm going to have some big bets on this top 5 and top 3. The discrepancy there is huge, because his top 5 line on DraftKings, for example, plus 110. That's a pretty big discrepancy when we're talking almost 2-1 for a top 5 for a guy that is 3rd in points after driving in 3 different rides. That's how good this guy's been. You talk about Vegas, he was in that 9 car with a completely different team, different crew chief. They kind of struggled, right? It looked like they were figuring it out, getting towards the top 5. They fell like a rock. He was in a DGM car that was prepared by a junior in that number 91 car at Coda. Had some glimpses of speed, didn't finish well. He got wrecked out at Atlanta, leading by the Prodigy, aka Corey Day. Otherwise, in that 1 car, Carson Kvapil's been awesome. He's been fantastic. And finally, we can build a little bit of consistency after Darlington, where they had a top 3 run. I mean, they may have had a top 2 car, and they ended up finishing 5th because of a bad pit stop. They were fantastic at Darlington. They should have won Phoenix. When he wins, when he goes to victory lane, he's going to be a favorite every single week. Carson Kvapil has the potential to be the next Connor Zilisch in terms of how the books treat him. He's got Rodney Childers on the box. Again, he should have won Phoenix. If you watch that race, he was fantastic. He was the best, easily the best. And cautions changed the outcome. They weren't as good on the short run. And that's a youth thing too, not capitalizing on restarts. But Carson Kvapil coming to Martinsville, a track where you can go back and watch those races last year, was not great. He got wrecked about 33 times in the spring race. In the fall race, they were chasing points because they were trying to make the championship 4. He got wrecked in that race too. It's a different year. It's a different driver. He's run well here before with Junior Motorsports. When he was in the 88 car part-time, he got a top 5 in 2024. Carson Kvapil knocking on the door. He should be a co-favorite. You know, it sucks because we've been getting 30-1 on Carson Kvapil, 40-1 every week, right? And those days are over. When he goes out and he wins this race on Saturday, done. Even if there's Cup guys in the field, he will not ever be 30-1 ever again. I still think 10-1 is as much as I hate it, considering what we've been able to get for this guy. I think 10-1 is criminal. I think he should be a co-favorite. This kid is something else. He's going to win multiple times in 2026. And now he's with this one team for multiple weeks building up. And they can actually build a little bit of camaraderie and some chemistry and some momentum when he's not hopping in and out of different rides. And he's going to have to do that again at some point in the season. But coming to Martinsville, coming to a short track, he's a great short track racer. This car clearly is dialed in for the long haul. I think Carson Kvapil is the guy to beat on Saturday. So based on how I'm treating this, I don't even need him to win. I hope he wins, but I'm going to have a huge bet on his top 5, a sizable bet on his top 3, and then kind of a normal bet on his outright. So big Carson Kvapil guy again. He's been the backbone of our profitability in O'Reilly. So stick to what works. Again, he's hopping in and out of different rides, and he's 3rd in the points. I should tell you a lot about him as a driver and this one team as well. So love Carson Kvapil. He is my top play to win this weekend. No Dub Club ad here when I switch and we look at our top 10 plays, as all bets will be free. Now, subscribe to dubclub.win if you want to get the bets first, so you can get the potential best lines available when I do actually post my betting cards. But betting cards are going to be free to the public. So here are my top 10 plays recapped in order with specific unit allocations. You see 5.5 units on Kvapil. That is 5.5 units between the 3 bets, top 5, top 3, and outright. Chase Elliott is my number 2 play. Ty Gibbs, number 3 play. Cindric, Mayer, Bubba, Brent Crews, Benjamin Bill Byron, Sammy Smith, and Jeb Burton. You're looking at them there for the Cookout 400 weekend with the units that I intend to play. Some of these I have already played, bet myself, and we're going to add more to it before we take the green flag, before we hit practice and qualifying for that matter. So you just heard everybody, a good ear fuck there. The very good, fun, nostalgic sound from NBC back in the 2000s. And yeah, that is what I got. I will say there's a few other things I like that did not make the top 10. I bet Anthony Alfredo top 5 on DraftKings Sportsbook, 30-1. I mean, this Viking Motorsports team between him and Parker Retzlaff has been fantastic. They have been fantastic. I'm looking at 22-1 right now. But Hard Rock Bet did have the same exact price for Alfredo when I looked earlier. Now he's 20-1 on Hard Rock. I still think that's worth it, man. These guys are really fast. And Alfredo's had some good runs here in the past with different teams. So I like Alfredo, underdog, top 5 bet. I like Harrison Burton. I hesitance with Harrison Burton, which it was 12-1 for a top 5. Now I see 10-1 on Hard Rock. My hesitance is Sam Hunt Racing has not had a great start to the year, but Harrison Burton is a driver. Pretty good here. So Harrison Burton for top 5. We've seen some chaos happen here. Maybe they can get a little bit of good luck and benefit if we get some late race chaos, take out some of the front runners. I could totally see that happening because it seems like it happens basically every other Martinsville race we have in the O'Reilly series. Nick Sanchez as well, 12-1 for a top 5. Everybody's kind of writing them off. They've had mechanical gremlins. They've been in wrecks. Nick Sanchez, wheelman. AM Racing's had some good runs here in the past. Maybe, just maybe, He gets his best run of the year at Martinsville, so 12-1 for a top 5. Those are 2 guys. Again, as I mentioned earlier, talking about Jeb Burton, if you get some top 10 lines, maybe you get some good prices on those guys via the score bet, maybe via Fanatics, whatever, one of those slapdick books. Those guys could be worth some top 10 bets if they're 3-1, 4-1 range, which I think they would be if those odds come available. So I'm throwing those in there as well. And I guess I'll go ahead and give you my qualifying card. William Byron, pole bet, made it. Made the top 10. Ty Gibbs, pole bet, made the top 10. Austin Cindric, pole bet, made the top 10. I also probably going to bet Ryan Preece 15-1 to win the pole. He's been a hot shot in qualifying. He's a former pole winner here at Martinsville. I think if there's an RFK guy that is going to have elite qualifying speed, it's going to be Ryan Preece. My concern, he goes out a little on the early side of where I think the pole time is going to be. But, you know, with this tire and this increased horsepower, it seems like the qualifying sessions are going to be less weather dependent than they were in the past. So that's a good sign. That means fast cars are going to win the pole more often than just purely based on when they go out. As I've joked, sometimes it seems like to pick qualifying or pole winners, you got to be a fucking meteorologist. I think that might change this year. So, and weather may not be as much of a factor anyway because it's freezing cold. I say freezing. It's in the 50s in Martinsville this weekend. So, ideal situation, I feel like, for qualifying better. So, you saw Cindric. I just told you Preece, Byron, Gibbs, and I'm going to take a shot at Carson Hocevar 25-1. All those lines available on either Bally, Bet Rivers, or Caesars. Hocevar 25-1. He has a great qualifying draw. He goes out third to last. Another dude that has had some good glimpses of qualifying speed. I don't know how they're going to be in race trim. Spire's kind of struggled here in the past, but to win the pole, you just got to be fast for one lap. And I think Hocevar has a shot at it with the qualifying draw that he has and his capabilities as a driver. So 5 qualifying bets that I'm probably going to place: Byron, Gibbs, Cindric, Preece, Hocevar. So I'll throw that in there as well. So top off everything I wanted to discuss here for O'Reilly and Cup. And now let's go to our parlay segment. All right. I'm going to talk parlays here. I know a couple people tailed the round robin I gave last week. I think they said it went like 5-4-11. I haven't gone back and looked, but that's pretty close, right? So I think one of the guys said he netted 0.1 units on it, so not bad. But you do kind of need the dog. You need some underdogs to hit with these psychotic round robin bets. But I don't know if I'm going to focus on a round robin. Let's do just a motorsports parlay. Wish DraftKings would have podium bets on here. They do not. We're going to take Alex Palou. We're on a street circuit. I hate betting anything near even money. But I'd be shocked if Alex Palou doesn't rebound and get a dub. Alex Palou win is the first leg. Second leg, let's go Chase Elliott. Love Chase Elliott for Cup. And then my favorite guy in O'Reilly, Carson Kvapil. That is 178.5 to 1 right there. 3-leg parlay. Put $5 on it. Why not? $5. Pay you about $900. Pretty good return. Okay. Let's be a little more conservative here. But we're going to add more legs. Sammy Smith. Maybe I don't trust this price for an outright bet, but maybe I like it in a parlay. So we'll go Sammy Smith top 5. And then we will go... Let's go Sam Mayer top 5. 2-1. We will go Kvapil top 3 because he's going to win the race. So if he wins the race, he's going to be a top 3 guy. Then we'll go to Cup. We'll go ahead and take Elliott for a top 5 at plus money, kind of like that. We'll take Bubba Wallace, top 10, plus money. How about SVG, top 10? There you go. $5 pays out. 2,700. SVG top 10, Bubba top 10, Elliott top 5, Kvapil top 3, Mayer top 5, and Sammy Smith top. I actually really like this. This could be a round robin. This could be a round robin. I think SVG's had some good results here in limited opportunities. I think 2 of his 3 starts, SVG has been right around the top 10, top 15-ish. Trackhouse is pretty good here last fall. I know Chastain snuck through the field and got a top 5. SVG, I think, was pretty sporty as well. So there's your underdog top 5, or top 10, I mean. Yeah, that's what I got. I don't want to do an, you know what? No, we're gonna do one. It's a staple. It's a staple. Eventually, somebody here is gonna hit big on the 10 to 12 leg round robin parlay that we give out. Ross Chastain's due for a good run, huh? Let's give him a top 10 bet. We already talked about SVG, so top 10 Chastain. We'll start off here for the psychotic round robin. Let's go back and forth here. Let's go to O'Reilly and take... Take Kvapil top 5. Since I have not talked about him, and he's pretty good here, we'll take Taylor Gray top 3. Take Taylor Gray top 3. Throw that in there. Let's go back to Cup. For Cup, we will take Blaney top 5. We'll put the juicy one in there. We'll take, let's do some more juice. Elliott top 10, but then we got to come down here. And we're going to take Cole Custer top 10. He's actually had some good runs at Martinsville. Why the hell not? Throw him in there. Here's one of your big long shots. We will throw Todd Gilliland, who's had some good runs at Martinsville, top 10. That's 7 legs right there. We're getting pretty crazy with it. We'll go Josh Berry top 10. Go Bubba top 5. And then IndyCar. Let's take Christian Lundgaard. He's pretty fucking good in these types of tracks. Maybe he'll sneak through. I wish, see if they would post, as DraftKings pretends IndyCar racers are fucking horses. They say place or show. If they had a podium, I'd take Lundgaard podium. That's a 10 leg round robin right there. You're looking at it. Lundgaard win. Bubba top 5, Josh Berry top 10, Todd Gilliland top 10, Cole Custer top 10, Chase Elliott top 10, Ryan Blaney top 5, Taylor Gray top 3, Carson Kvapil top 5, Ross Chastain top 10. Congratulations. You're going to be a millionaire when you bet on this. Confirmed. All right, that's what I got. You're gonna get ear fucked again. Be ready. Bam. There it is. That was me congratulating William Byron on winning the poll on Saturday. Sneak peek of that in that transition slide I just showed. Thank you guys for watching Dale Center. I am exhausted, if you couldn't tell. I've been in the lab. I have been in the lab. I really have. So, hoping for a big weekend. I feel really, really good about it. And we kind of need a good rebound after a tough one in Darlington. Again, all the betting cards, once finalized, will be free. I'll post them on Twitter, probably post them on my Instagram story. I'll put them in the Discord. Join the Dale Center NASCAR Discord. Link in the YouTube description. Subscribe on dubclub.win if you want the betting cards first. And on most weekends, they are exclusive to the Dale Club. Only on dubclub.win. That link will be below in the bio. And check out everything Dale Tanhart. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. The viewership has been outstanding here on Dale Center NASCAR Betting. It's been a lot of fun making these. And I'm very, very appreciative of everybody who tunes in, everybody who comments, every single weekend. And hopefully we'll have a big one here at Martinsville for the Cookout 400 on Sunday and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on Saturday. Good luck with your bets. Let me know what you're betting on. Let me know what you think about what we are betting on, and enjoy the race weekend. And I'll see you guys soon.